Obviously, not the easiest names to pronounce, but we're there.
Let's see.
Love from India, says Uma. Let's see some questions. So we're gonna just get started right away, and then we'll take some breaks and explain some other stuff to you guys. But the first question is: I started the gluten and dairy-free diet, yet my acne is getting worse, not better. Any suggestions?
Yes. There is sometimes a detox phase where for a couple of weeks or maybe 1 week, you feel like your acne is getting worse. So it takes a little bit of time. I would just stick to it for a good month and see how your skin turns out at the end of the month.
Yes. All right. Can you please advise the best exercises to do at the gym for PCOS? I just started going back and I don't know where to go forward with it. All right. So if you're just starting, maybe you're new, that's okay. Don't feel like overwhelmed by it. Just start with what we like to recommend as slow weighted workouts.
Oops.
Sorry about that. We just got a notification, but okay, we're back. All right. So for workouts, we like to recommend slow weighted workouts, which basically incorporate weights. Now, we're not talking about weight training where you're going to be building muscle, like, like getting buff and things like that. Instead, we're talking about building lean muscle mass. So starting with the basics like squats, shoulder presses, arm, bicep curls, tricep extensions, stuff like that. If you want to see examples, they're all throughout our Instagram feed as well as TikTok. And if you really want to get like all these custom made workouts for you, just join us in the sisterhood and you'll have access to a lot more with step-by-step steps.
Yeah, we just
step by step steps. Steppity step-by-step steps. Trademarked.
We just posted our new workout series actually yesterday.
Yes, November's workout.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of new workouts in the sisterhood. We filmed them right here in our living room, and they're kind of Thanksgiving themed. We have some squash props in the back.
If you're in the sisterhood and you're watching right now, let us know how you like the new November workouts. Especially let me know if you like the music, because the special music was made for this month.
Someone says, I love Ovastatol, and I see a few Ovastatol questions. So
can you switch sides?
Sure.
Thank you.
Why?
Because it's easier for me to scroll.
Oh, okay. Where can I order Ovastatol? You can find it in the highlight called Ovastatol.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually giving away Ovastatol for a new challenge. Oh. So let me tell you about this new challenge.
The walking challenge.
So I felt like I was really stuck at home and not walking enough. And I just got out of the habit. And, typically, like if it wasn't for quarantine, I'd leave my house a couple times. I'd take a few steps. I think I would reach 5,000 steps at the end of the day. But now I just don't want to leave the house as much. So, what's wrong?
Oh. Nothing, go continue.
So I decided that we should do a challenge. And that is 4 weeks of walking every day at least 5,000 steps and posting a screenshot of your steps in our Facebook group. So I'll post about it in my stories again today. I posted it yesterday, but basically you're just going to walk 5,000 steps as many days as you can for 4 weeks and post about it. And then we'll give away Ovastatol to 3 lucky winners. We will choose sisters who walked the most as the winners. So
yes.
It started yesterday.
Yeah, and this whole challenge is really to kind of like help promote just getting out the house. And like I know with the whole COVID thing, especially right now, COVID is in some areas, getting more, I would say popular, but getting more again. But if you're in that situation where you have to be working at home all day, like we are, and you're feeling like you're not getting the physical activity that you deserve, or at least just getting out, getting some sun, this is the perfect challenge because this challenge is not about losing weight. It's not about counting calories, or it's not about how many pounds did we lose this month. No, we're not trying to promote that at all. It's really about just getting the right mindset of self-care. And where does that start? Walking, paying attention to what your body needs. Doesn't mean about food, just about physical activity. So it's a great way to start.
I honestly feel better already. And it's been like 3 days in a row that I've been walking. And it just improves your mood so much. Getting stuck at home, you like forget how good you can feel after a nice walk or like consistently walking. These are really important things.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to
By the way, I
Well-
saw a message of somebody saying that there's a lot of questions and we should do more Q&As.
Oh, on the podcast, yeah.
We do a lot of Q&As. You can watch our previously recorded Instagram IGTVs of our lives to watch Q&As that we've done in the past.
Yes. All right. Sorry, I just got like really
What happened?
distracted by my phones and stuff. So yeah, if you want to join the walking challenge, how can they join that, babe? Because we have a whole Facebook group where you can join for free and be a part of it.
There's a highlight called 4-Week Challenge. You just swipe up and put in your email and you'll get all of the details on how to join and join the Facebook group and everything.
Yes. So if you want to join, like Tanya said, go to the highlights section on Instagram and you'll be able to join from right there. All right. I have PCOS. I drink a smoothie for breakfast. Thoughts? Not thoughts like thoughts, but thoughts as in thinking thoughts.
Sirek likes to say thoughts.
Like
THOT thoughts.
That's right. But smoothies are great for breakfast, especially if it's high protein breakfast. What are the ingredients you like to add, Tanya?
I like some protein powder. It can either be hemp protein. It could be philosophy protein, which is the one I like to drink.
Yeah.
It's in the highlights called links. But basically, I need dairy-free protein. Whey is dairy, so dairy-free. And then add some spinach, get your skin glowing, add some dairy-free milk. We like the Ripple pea protein milk, but you can use almond milk, flaxseed milk, coconut milk. They're all dairy-free. And then I put half a banana because I don't like too much fruit in the mornings. And then some nut butter, like a spoonful of almond butter.
Yes. And then, so there's a question coming from TikTok. Would you recommend taking Ovastatol along with Metformin and birth control? Will it aid in weight loss? So according to Ovastatol and their doctors, you can take Ovastatol along with Metformin. However, we don't recommend it because it can really drop your blood sugar too low. So based on our experience with other sisters, we don't recommend taking them together. However, according to the doctors, you can. Birth control, yes, you can take birth control and Ovastatol, as well as take it while you're pregnant too, right? Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yes.
And the other half of her question was if it helps with weight loss.
Oh, okay.
Well, it helps with insulin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
When you reverse insulin resistance, then you can naturally lose weight without having to go on some restrictive, crazy diet. So what we try to do is approach insulin resistance with every angle that we can. So Ovastatol is a great supplement to help your cells pick up that sugar in your bloodstream and burn it for energy. And then aside from Ovastatol, you can make dietary changes, of course, reducing sugar, understanding how much carbs your body can handle, and also going gluten and dairy free, which are two insulin triggering foods. So what you want to do is figure out if they are something that you're sensitive to that's affecting your insulin. And by cutting them out for at least 30 days, you'll see if this is something that works for you. And a lot of sisters have seen amazing transformations with going gluten and dairy free. And some sisters have found that adding other components to it works better because maybe they're super insulin resistant and it's just not about only gluten and dairy. Maybe you need some supplements. Maybe you need to take a look at your ingredients, the carbs, so on.
Yes. And someone said the Ovastatol promo code, is it expired? No. So when you go to Ovastatol, the discount code, you have to put it into this box called the PRC. So PRC box, if you put that code into there, you will get 15% off. And kind of related to that, is there any other medication to take other than Metformin? It gives me horrible side effects. So as Tanya was talking about earlier, one of the main types of PCOS is insulin resistance. In fact, 70 to 80% of women with PCOS have insulin resistance. So that it's very important to basically focus on that and help make sure you're healing that. So there's multiple different ways. The one way that the popular method is from doctors to recommend Metformin. However, Metformin has many side effects. It depletes your body of a lot of nutrients, and it's not really the best long-term approach. So instead, what we like to recommend are Inositol supplements. So Inositol supplements are basically our natural supplements that help regulate your insulin resistance through basically focusing on myo and dechiro-inositol. So Ovastatol is a great natural option. So if you want to try it, the link is in the highlights on Instagram, and you get a 15% off code too for every single time you get it.
I personally still take it sometimes depending on like what my diet's like. For example, the other night we had a Halloween dinner and we had lots of desserts and ate too much. I was really full and I was like, you know what? This is not an insulin resistant friendly meal I just had.
Yeah.
And I had dairy and everything. So I put some Ovastatol in water, drank that down. I felt like I had myself together.
Yeah. And can you explain what inositols are?
Inositols are they help your cells open up to pick up the sugar that insulin's giving your cells. They're like the gatekeepers, basically. So if you don't have those in the proper ratio in your cells, then your cells are resistant to insulin. So it's important not only, to reduce your insulin levels and not have them spike, it's also important to have the right ratio of inositols in your cells. But insulin-resistant women don't have that, and that's why Ovastatol works so effectively because it mimics that ratio.
Yeah. Awesome.
I saw a question about Pink Floyd.
I know. I was trying to get to. There's so many questions coming in.
Where's your Pink Floyd hoodie from?
It's from Sandro. So Sandro. It was actually a gift from Tallinn for one of my birthdays, I want to say. But yeah, it's from Sandro. I love it. It's so comfortable. And I love Pink Floyd. I have like 4 Pink Floyd tattoos. I'll definitely get more of it. But, Pink Floyd's a shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. Someone said, can you explain insulin resistance? I feel like we've been really... Okay, yeah. Let's just really get into it. So what is insulin resistance? What up to 80% of women with PCOS have... What is it?
Give me the mic.
I'm so sorry. Here's the mic.
Insulin resistance is when your cells are not responding to the hormone insulin. What is the hormone insulin? This is a hormone that picks up the sugar in your bloodstream and puts it in your cells so your cells can burn up this sugar so that they don't go and store as fat, storing as fat around your liver, causing fatty liver, things like this. And so when your cells are not responsive to the hormone insulin, then there's a whole bunch of insulin that gets pumped into your bloodstream because your body's like, we need your cells to accept insulin.
I want my hand back. Just continue.
So basically you have this influx of insulin in your bloodstream and that goes to your ovaries and triggers high testosterone. So what you want to do is make sure that you're not causing that insulin spike. And there's so many different things that contribute to the insulin spike. That's why it's so hard to get your insulin under control. And oftentimes we just want to give up. So sometimes you see people go on keto and it really helps. Well, that's because your insulin isn't spiking because you're not even eating carbs. You're not even doing anything to trigger it. But you don't have to go all the way on keto to stop your insulin from spiking. You can eat less inflammatory foods so your cells are less inflamed and more responsive to the hormone insulin. You could eat foods that don't spike your insulin hormone, like gluten and dairy. You can eat foods that are paired together properly. So when you're having a carb, you pair it with a protein or fat so that it doesn't spike your insulin as well. So
no, continue. I was going to add to it with the other symptoms related to it.
Yeah, when you have high testosterone.
Oh, you're about to take my flame right now. Can I?
Yeah,
okay. No, I just ruined your... Continue.
What happens when you have high testosterone?
Okay, well, we should explain. So if you're experiencing like...
Let the person with the most testosterone explain. Get it? Because you're a guy. You have more testosterone.
How dare you? All right. So rude.
Compliment.
So rude. Man, now my whole mind is off track. Okay, so let's say you're experiencing like hair loss, right? Or possibly hair growth, like maybe like on the face or something like that you don't want. Or acne. Well, a lot of these situations, when we talk about diet and lifestyle, it can be directly linked to insulin resistance. So as Tanya was explaining, when you have insulin resistance, there's a whole bunch of like symptoms that happen. For example, with insulin resistance, your body may
Produce more testosterone.
produce. Yes, I know I forgot the produce word. May produce more testosterone, but not just that. Your liver creates something called creates a sex hormone binding. God damn it.
Globulin.
Sex binding hormone called globulin. Now, what globulin does, it goes and it attaches to testosterone and it kind of like neutralizes it, so that basically your testosterone doesn't overcompensate like in your whole body. Yeah. So when you have insulin resistance, not only does your body sometimes produce more testosterone, but it also may reduce the sex hormone binding globulin. So this is going to cause hair loss or hair growth or acne and things like that. So I know I butchered the hell out of that explanation because of all the interruptions by Italian and I.
What?
But basically, there's a science behind insulin resistance. Like all these symptoms, like hair loss and acne or hair growth, like all these things. When we talk about diet and lifestyle, we're not like just saying, "Oh, if you eat healthy, you'll be fine." It's not like that. There's a real science behind it. If you just go into the science, it really helps explain that a lot better.
That's right. When you have high testosterone, it gathers around your hair follicles and causes them to fall out. I see a message about hair fall.
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of time to reverse this and lots of consistency. So you have to be patient with yourself. In 6 to 12 months of consistency, you will see that your hair is not falling out anymore. If you get your insulin resistance under control, if that's the issue with your hair, or your androgens, you can have them checked. Like stress hormones, for example, DHEAS, that can be contributing to hair loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting your stress under control as well.
Yeah. So someone said hair on my head falling out and face hairs growing and acne. Ugh, damn you, PCOS, she says. Totally understand you and we totally get that frustration. But here is the one positive, sister, is that you can just target the diet and lifestyle through insulin resistance to help reverse those symptoms. So it's not like it's a sentence on you that you're never going to be able to reverse those symptoms. You can. You just have to be patient. It takes 6 to 12 months. And then there is Ovastatol. If you're international, I guess some countries can't get Ovastatol for that reason. If that's the case, then what you want to do is look for a inositol supplement that has a ratio of 40:1 myo and D-chiro-inositol. We can't guarantee that it will work just like in Ovastatol because all the testimonials that you see on our page are from Ovastatol, but at least if you're outside the country, you want to try something, at least go for something that has a 40:1 ratio. Now, the other benefit of Ovastatol is that it's a lot cheaper compared to other alternatives. You might be like, wait, what? No, it's not. It is. So when it comes to healing your insulin resistance, it takes at least 3 to 6 months. Now, when you go on Amazon and you see other brands and you see that they're only 1 month supply. So if you multiply that by 3 to 6 times, I guarantee you it will be more expensive than the 3-month supply of Ovastatol. So please, when you're going to purchase any inositol supplement, consider a long-term approach. It's not going to be for 1 month or 1 week or 2 months. It's going to be like 3 to 6 months. So don't just go and get the cheapest one you find. Get the most reputable ones. Ovastatol is made by a physician, like he's a Dr. Mark Ratner. In fact, in 2 weeks, we have a podcast interview with him, and he's going to explain the whole science behind Ovastatol. So this is made by a doctor who actually focuses on fertility. So honestly, we don't know of any other brands that are better than Ovastatol.
That's right.
All right, I just talked for so long.
I see a question. How does PCOS affect sleep? Is it okay to take melatonin? So PCOS does affect sleep. A lot of women with PCOS have really low melatonin levels. Mm-hmm. So a melatonin supplement could help.
Yeah.
What we recommend is to make sure you're keeping your eye on your circadian rhythm. Mm-hmm. And that means that you're you want to feel lively and awake in the morning and ready to sleep at night. But in order to do that, you have to kind of stimulate your body to do that. So in the mornings, going on a walk, going outside, looking at the daylight, that will help you lower your lower your melatonin and increase your cortisol so you have more energy. And then when you do like intense cardio workouts, that will spike your cortisol. And then our cortisol often doesn't go down quickly enough. And we're like really energetic and really just like, stimulated and can't sleep at night. So that's why we recommend slow weighted workouts during the day.
Perfect.
And then,
I have a great question to jump on after you.
Okay. And then at night, stimulating sleep hormones. So turning off screens a couple hours before you sleep. Eating dinner, making sure that you're having enough carbs and you're not starving when you go to bed.
Caffeine.
Reducing
Too much caffeine.
Your caffeine intake. We recommend no coffee, especially in the beginning of the healing process. Also, we take CBD that knocks us out. Let me tell you.
CBD is the best.
Especially when you're like trying to relax. Obviously, if you take it during the day, I don't think you'll knock out. But like at night, when you're trying to stimulate melatonin, lower your cortisol, relax, reduce inflammation, that CBD will really help you get there.
Yeah.
Along with things like meditation and whatnot to get yourself to calm down so you could sleep better.
Yeah. I really think a lot of stress, caffeine, and like this just creates like this really bad, like synergy within your body, and it's hard to fall asleep at night. So really focusing on that will really help. There was a fitness question. And actually, first, before I get to the fitness question, I really wanted to read this because it's not the right mentality, and I want to just like talk about this a little bit. So someone said, if I don't eat gluten and dairy, my PCOS will be gone and my insulin resistance will be better? ? So that is like a big all or nothing mentality. In fact, if we haven't mentioned this yet, but we have a new podcast episode out today. It's all about how to avoid the all or nothing mentality with PCOS. We should first clear up. It's not just about specifically going gluten and dairy free. There's so much more to it. Meaning, you can eat like unhealthy food that is gluten and dairy free. Like, for example, French fries. Now, is that going to help with your insulin resistance and inflammation, all those things? No. So it's not literally going gluten and dairy free. It's more about finding the balance between not just gluten and dairy free, but finding your carb tolerance, finding, the balance between meals, how to like make sure that you're sustainably eating so you don't starve yourself, so that you don't feel super hungry between meals and things like that. So
we can support you in this process in the Sisterhood, our membership site, where we outlined a 5-stage success path to PCOS weight loss. And it has all the different components from going gluten and dairy free to working out properly for PCOS, to understanding your carb tolerance and your PCOS type. And so all of these components will help you reverse insulin resistance and lose weight and all of the other symptoms that you have. Mm-hmm. But just by like going gluten and dairy free and eating like gluten-free Oreos instead of like regular Oreos, like that's not going to help with anything whatsoever. Yeah. But we do see a lot of sisters have great results by swapping out their gluten and dairy products for gluten and dairy free, like pasta, bread, general things like that. Because it helps reduce inflammation and it helps reduce insulin levels. And, you'll find that your skin is clearer and you feel better and your mood is better. We've heard some incredible stories that are very similar to my own about people who have gone gluten and dairy free. So it's definitely part of our method. Yeah. Of course, there are other components too.
Yeah. And someone asked thoughts on keto for PCOS. So it's a little bit mixed. There's like pros and cons to keto. We highly recommend you listen to our podcast episode. We talk about basically the keto diet. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. It's called Should I Go Keto for PCOS? We talk about the pros and the cons. But to give you a short answer, we don't see as a solution as a long-term approach. It can help with insulin resistance, but the only reason it helps is that there's a very drastic requirement for you to completely lower your carbs in one day, which is really hard to do for a lot of people. It's not sustainable. So for that reason, we don't completely recommend it. However, it can be a helpful option. Listen to the episode.
Yeah, here's the thing. We don't want you to do anything that's really pushing your body and like stressing you out. And oftentimes with keto, it's stressful on our body because, it's very restrictive and you're hungry and it's like an entire food group, cutting out carbs completely. Whereas with gluten-free, you're actually replacing it. So just getting gluten-free bread or gluten-free pasta instead. Yeah. And that can help with insulin levels and inflammation. Not as much as keto will because you're eating a carb, but in conjunction with other things like other lifestyle factors and portion sizes that can affect your insulin levels, it can be very effective, and you won't have to be so restrictive like with keto.
And going on to carbs, there's a question about how can I find my carb tolerance? Well, one, if you go to the sisterhood, we have a whole stage, like a whole process for you to figure out your carb tolerance. There's like things you can download to help you track and figure out what's right for you. But to give you like a short answer about that, basically what we recommend is starting with about 125 to 150 grams of carbs a day. Now, you want to eat that and see how you feel, and then lower those carb levels, possibly like 100 to 120, 80 to 100, 60 to 80, and then lower it until you find a level that works for you, and then you can basically move forward with that and see how it helps. But like basically that's the like an easier way of kind of finding your carb tolerance.
That's right.
All right. Someone asked, where can I listen to your podcasts? So our podcast is called A Sister and Her Mister. Sister is spelled Cyster. It's not the other way, or else that would be really weird. So A Sister and Her Mister podcast. It's available, honestly, everywhere. Available on Apple, available on Spotify. Each episode has a video for YouTube and Stitcher, everything. And if you want to just listen right now, if you go to the link in bio, click it, and you'll have access right away. So go to the link in bio if you want to listen today.
The sun is killing me.
Really? It's okay.
Does it hurt your eyes?
A little bit, yeah. The newest episode from today was about how to avoid the all or nothing mentality with PCOS. So a lot of times, I mean, with PCOS and like any other thing for like any person when they're trying to achieve anything, it's usually like, okay, if I don't go all in, meaning if I don't completely start my diet 100%, that means I'm not doing anything. And a lot of times this is like this doesn't really motivate you, right? It makes you feel worse about your situation, because if you make one mistake in your first day, you feel like you failed. But that's not true at all. Like anytime you start, that first day you start is already the biggest step you're taking, because it takes so much courage. It takes so much, self-motivation to take that first step. So it's huge to start. And
someone says, I love that topic that you guys discussed today on the podcast. I have such a struggle with that. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people jump into it and they're like, I'm going to do this 100% and it's going to help and that's it. And then it doesn't, or they can't, and then they give up.
Yeah.
And that's really, like, I remember being really like that in the beginning when I was doing keto or trying to do keto. I did not do keto. Or going low carb or any diet that I had tried. I was just like, really, okay, this is it. This is what's going to help me. Mm-hmm. And then that just didn't work at all. And then by the time I learned about gluten and dairy free, I was like, okay, I need to be a little more relaxed about this. I'm over it. I'm really annoyed. That's it. I'm just going to try this as best as I can. And I gave myself the patience to do it for at least a year before I realized, or a few months before I realized that this is great. This is working. And then for a whole year, by the end of the year, I was like, okay, I can do this forever.
Yeah.
And then it was just natural, the progression into eating gluten and dairy free. And now, sometimes I have a little bit of dairy, this, that, just the other day.
Yeah.
I'm breaking out, but that's fine. That's just part of the whole process. And it would have been worse if I didn't take Ovastatol and, do my routine to reverse everything. But it just takes some time.
God, I'm realizing the sun is hitting the phone and glaring onto my eyes, and I realize why this is happening today and never happened before.
What?
Daylight savings time. Now the freaking sun is in a different location, hitting the goddamn phone, glaring into my eyes.
Do we have any Armenians on this live? I bought
Check
this
it
really
out.
cute sweater.
Yes.
It's from someone called Silvart, and I will tag them in my stories if you're Armenian and you want to buy one.
Yeah. Well, come on, Talene.
Sorry.
But anyways, so yeah, we're actually, if you don't know, there's a war happening in Armenia, in one of their territories, and we're trying to spread awareness because there is, a lot of damage being done to that territory without any, justice being done for the people that live there. And this is not a political platform. We're not going to try to get political at all. We'll be talking about PCOS in just a minute, but we're Armenians, and kills us every single day to know that there are people dying like as innocents. I mean, anybody dying is a big, huge problem, but like there are innocent people dying in that region, and we're trying to spread awareness so that people can donate to that area, and they can actually have like blankets, and they can have like food and stuff like that to basically survive this war that's happening. So
a lot of the products in our house, the proceeds are donated to Armenia. For example, this sweater or this candle. Home candles. Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it does smell really good. But anyway, like no pressure obviously to donate or anything like that, but if you can at least spread awareness about Armenia to any of your friends or anything like that, that would be a huge help for us in our country. So with that being said, let's continue with the questions. Someone said, talk about infertility and PCOS. Help us get pregnant. So we have the perfect podcast episode for you. It's called How to Improve Fertility with Dr. Nadia Paraguana. She is a very, very, very good doctor. We've had her on the podcast several times, and we really focus on how to improve fertility through diet and lifestyle, basically naturally, without doing things like fertility treatments, or like which you can still do, but we like to focus first on diet and lifestyle. So it's a great episode.
I will link my sweater in stories. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
I'd love it if you purchased one. Proceeds go to Armenia Fund.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a good question about gluten dairy free. I've been going with gluten dairy free diet. I even decreased my weight. Still, after the 4 months, I am not getting my regular menstruation. What could I do to help?
Let's see. After 4 months of gluten-free, no regular menstruation, have you tried Ovastatol? It helps regulate periods. Also, again, going gluten and dairy-free may help with some symptoms, but you might want to layer in other things to help with your insulin resistance, because that's really going to target with your period issues.
Yeah, see if you're just going gluten dairy free, it can help, but obviously there's like a way to do it. Like you want to target the insulin resistance, you want to target the inflammation, the things that may be causing the infertility. So
the glare is
I know it's killing me too. So like it's good that you've seen those results. You just want to basically someone said your wife looks so hot. That's right, and don't forget she's my wife. So
what happened?
Someone said you're my hot wife, so that's all. Okay, let's see. Let's continue here. How do I get rid of hair growth on my face? So we were talking about this earlier. Basically, with hair growth,
you two look handsome.
Basically, with hair growth, it can be due to the insulin resistance that we were talking about. Basically, it's causing elevated testosterone and less of the globulin, and causing you to have more hair growth or hair loss. So one of the best things to look at is insulin resistance, but of course, there may be another cause of it, but that's where you can start.
What about soy milk? I suggest having soy milk occasionally. It is processed soy, so that could mimic your estrogen and cause, imbalances if you have it consistently. I've seen it before when people have like soy protein powder every single day. It affects their period regulation. So think about it. Just monitor yourself. Someone says, yes, get him.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I got him.
Get it. Someone said 3 months after finding you, I got pregnant. That's amazing. Would love to help you like that. She said she was trying for over a year and then found us and found our videos and our PCOS tips. That's amazing. So glad to help you, Linz. We're very happy to be here for you, and we hope you continue your progress and everything.
Yes. Someone says, I was wondering for the 5,000 step challenge, I've requested to be part of the Facebook group. Do I have to purchase the plan to join? No, you don't have to purchase anything. We will accept your Facebook request in 24 hours.
Yes.
Not to worry.
Yeah.
You just request, and then once you're in, you'll be able to post the screenshots and share your 5,000 steps with us.
Yes.
It'll be so fun.
Yes. We've already had several people. As somebody even commented during the live right now that they've already finished their 5,000 steps. I think it was Mary. Yay. Sorry if I missed your name, but great job.
I mean, I thought 4 weeks was too much for this challenge, but then I was like, let me do a poll, and 1,000 people said 4 weeks, and 200 people said 1 week or 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, clearly everyone wants 4 weeks. I feel like 4 weeks is a good amount of time to develop a habit and really see the results from it. And it's the same thing that goes for gluten and dairy free. Like going gluten and dairy free for 4 weeks is how long it takes to figure out if this is a lifestyle change for you, if it works for you, if your symptoms are getting better. So the same goes for walking, maybe after these 4 weeks, we'll continue walking every single day.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to.
I mean, there's a whole statistic that says it takes 2 weeks to form a habit, good or bad. So if you just do this walking challenge for 2 weeks,
does it? 20 days.
I thought it was 2 weeks. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever the statistic is, if you were to just do this for a whole month, it's going to become like a permanent habit that basically will really help you. So just with anything.
Walking helps lower your cortisol levels, your stress hormones, which is great. Because studies show that 20 minutes of walking can significantly reduce your cortisol.
Oh, someone said 21 days for the habit.
Oh,
my bad. 3 weeks. 3 weeks to form a habit with anything.
We'll do 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Really nail it in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, lowering cortisol is great, especially towards the end of the day. So I'm here for it.
Someone said surgery for PCOS, will it be gone forever or not? Yeah, we wouldn't recommend. I mean, look, everyone is different. There may be surgeries for different things that we're not really aware of right now. So don't listen to us as your direct guidance. So talk to your doctor about any surgeries. But if you're just like, the only thing we're going to say is if you're looking for surgery as a short-term solution and you have other options available that can help with like diet and lifestyle,
then we're here for you.
Yeah. So like the surgery,
for the diet and lifestyle.
Exactly. Like the surgery might seem like a short-term solution that may not fix something. We don't know. It depends on you.
It depends on the person.
We're all about doing something that's sustainable through long-term, which is diet and lifestyle. It doesn't mean that surgery is bad. If anybody has done it, we're just trying to be clear that it depends on each single person.
We should do a podcast episode on bariatric surgery.
Yeah. Oh, black seed oil.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So many questions. It's anti-inflammatory. It's great for insulin resistance. It's just one of those supplements that's good for PCOS, it sounds like, based on the research. Now, am I going to say drop everything and only take black seed oil? No, because it's really a full synergistic thing between diet, lifestyle, and supplements and things like that. And there's a lot of supplements that actually help with insulin resistance, including cinnamon. And, there are so many. I just can't even think of them. There's cinnamon, there's N-acetylcysteine, there's black seed oil, Ovastatol. We find Ovastatol to be the most effective because it's really healing the insulin resistance, starting from like the issue in the cell that's happening. And then supplements like black seed oil can assist the process.
Yeah. And actually, the great thing about Ovastatol is that there's actually an ongoing research study as a link between Ovastatol and PCOS. So we'll know the results soon, hopefully. We talked about this with Dr. Mark Ratner, the inventor of Ovastatol, and he'll be on the podcast very soon. So really exciting stuff about Ovastatol and PCOS.
Someone's asking, are the workouts live in the Sisterhood for November?
Yes, it is.
You bet, girl.
And tomorrow,
November 2nd, of course.
Yes, and tomorrow I'm going to do a live Facebook Live tomorrow in the morning to basically do a walkthrough of all the workouts. So I'll go step by step through each workout, do it with you, teach you about the form, teach you about how to do this, how to do that. And so sisters, if you're here right now from the Sisterhood, tomorrow, stay tuned. I'll be doing a live on Facebook, and of course I'll repost it so you guys can watch it later too. So it will be really, really fun. And if you're curious, what the workouts are. Basically, in the Sisterhood, every single month we have a new workout program. So it'll be about like 4 or 5 workouts that you can do each week throughout that month. And then by the time the next month comes, we have a whole new program for you. So you can basically have workouts that have your body guessing. And it'll be completely new and you won't be sick of them.
That's right.
And when it comes to workouts, so we'll just go over that real quick. Somebody was asking, can I still jog with PCOS? So with PCOS, we like to avoid workouts that increase the stress hormones, that spike cortisol levels. These kinds of workouts are usually workouts that include, like for example, like kickboxing. If you've done kickboxing, let us know in the comments, do a little like.
I've been there.
Yeah, Tanya's been there. Or perhaps like HIIT, high intensity interval training. Now, a lot of these can be beneficial for some, but in many cases, what they do is they increase your breathing, your heart rate, And then this is a signal for your body to release the stress hormones, the cortisol levels, and then you feel agitated, unable to recover. Perhaps there's a weight plateau, and basically you have a lot of inflammation that can actually worsen the results you're looking for, or you don't get the results you're looking for. And what we like to recommend instead is moving to slow weighted workouts, where you're basically using weight training, but in a slow manner, to basically engage your muscles and help build lean muscle and still lose weight without going through the crazy workouts. So how does this work? Basically, a slow weighted workout, it doesn't mean that you're doing a workout in slow motion. No. Basically, if I was to do a squat, this is the way to not do it. So I wouldn't recommend doing a squat like that if you have PCOS, because as you can tell from my breathing, I'm using a lot of energy, like to constantly do that. Instead, we make this slower. So what we do is we put the weights up here, right? We go back down slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back up normal speed, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So when I'm doing this, I'm not breathing that hard. I'm going down regular, coming up, back up. Same thing with like a bicep curl, coming back down slowly. Now, why are we talking about going slowly? How does this help more than a regular workout? Because isn't going slowly just going to make the workout less hard? No, not at all. I will prove to you right now, if you're watching. Come to the frame. Oh. So if you have a dumbbell by you, grab it right now. If it's maybe 5, 10 pounds, if it's a textbook, grab it right now. Hold it in your hand. Now, I want you to grab that textbook and I want you to do a curl 10 times or however many times fast, like this. See how many you can do. Now, I want you to grab that same weight. Now, do it like this. Come up normal speed. Come down very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. Now, count how many reps you can actually do. And I guarantee you that it will be less than the fast version. Now, why is this? When you're swinging the weight like this, on the way down, your bicep isn't doing anything. All it's doing is letting go of the weight, and you're just catching it down here. So your muscle didn't do shit on the way down. And then when you're going up like this, you're swinging. So your shoulder is helping you, your forearm is helping you. When you go slower, guess what's controlling the weight? Your bicep. Your bicep is controlling the weight all the way down. And actually, on the way down, your body will do more work than on the way up, which is why it's so important to do it like this, because it will make your muscles work more than the other way around. So why this? Why do we want to build lean muscle? Now, this has been scientifically proven. You can research this if you want to. But when you have more muscle in your body, your metabolism will be permanently higher. Meaning, if you increase your lean muscle mass, your metabolism will be higher when you're just sitting around doing nothing. Why? The reason is when you have, like, let's say you have fat here, right? This fat doesn't do anything in your body to waste energy. It's just or use up energy. It just sits there like a depot, like a resource. It just sits there waiting to be used up, but it does nothing otherwise. Whereas when you have muscle, even when you're just sitting there, it's constantly moving. It's constantly doing something. It's twitching. It's trying to move blood around, all this stuff. And why? So what does that do? It means that it needs energy at all times. It means that it needs your metabolism to be working. So when you have more muscle, that means your metabolism will be a lot higher because it needs to compensate for all this muscle that needs energy. So
excellent.
This is why I recommend slow weighted workouts. This is why I recommend increasing, lean muscle mass. It really helps with weight loss. Really helps with, getting leaner and things like that. Whereas intense workouts don't. Yeah. Oh, and
inflammation,
yeah.
Stress hormones, insulin resistance, things like that.
Yeah.
That's how we've designed all of the workouts in the Sisterhood. And if you want to join, you can go to the highlight called The Sisterhood and swipe up to join. Every month we have a new series that Sirak designs, and then I do them and he films them and he makes all the edits and the music, and it's really, really, really cool.
Someone said, can you tell us how I should start for PCOS beginners? I will teach you right now, but if you go to the Sisterhood, we have a step-by-step process for you to learn, even when you're a beginner. So if you're worried, just go there.
Yeah. We have some videos explaining it. We have all types of information.
But really, if you want to start with weighted workouts, just start with the most fundamental workouts. For example, like squats. And if you're new to squats and you can't do squats, grab a chair and literally squat down onto the chair and get back up. So you will basically using the chair as a crutch, but this will really help you build the glute muscles, really help you build the quads, hamstrings, so that when you're ready for the full squat, you'll do it really good. Someone said joining was the best decision I made of 2020. Ladies, if you're thinking about it, do it. Thank you, Danny Love. That's so sweet of you.
That is so sweet.
And then I was just going to say one more thing. Oh, so if you're running a lot, there's a question about, can I jog? Oh, quick hello from New Zealand. Love you guys. Oh, we love you too, Vanessa. Thank you. So if you like jogging, you can still jog. However, I recommend when you're jogging is to do it in like a steady state form. Basically, what that means is controlling your breathing so that it never gets out of control. Like, don't let it get to that. Go like run at a pace that you're able to breathe normally. Like, I'm sure we can all do that, right? If you run at like a steady rate that you're comfortable with, you'll be fine. And like a little minor tip, don't run on concrete, especially if you have like knee pain or joint pain, because when you run on concrete, your muscles basically get direct impact onto the concrete, and just that impact goes back onto your joints, can cause you to have like basically more and more joint pain down the line. Instead, I just recommend running on grass, something like a soft surface, sand, things like that will really help. All right, I really talked a lot.
Is there anyone who's new here and new to this new exercise style that we recommend?
Yeah.
Let us know if you've tried it and it's helped you. Let us know what your experience is like. If you're newly diagnosed or if you're newly starting to work out in this way for PCOS. We want to hear some feedback.
Yeah. Someone said, are HIIT workouts a no-go? I mean, it depends on each person. The problem that I see with HIIT workouts is that you're basically doing back-to-back-to-back workouts with no rest. So all this is going to do is increase your heart rate, increase your breathing, and then release the cortisol, stress hormones. And I mean, if you're seeing results and you feel great, go for it. So just do what you feel is best. But if you're not and you're stuck at like a certain weight and you want to like do something else, then, try a slow weighted workouts. They can really help.
That's right. It's helped. Hold on. Oh, the glare. I can't see.
I know.
I slipped up, but I'm back on the horse. May go gluten-free for a week made me blow up so bad.
That's good.
Oh, you accidentally went gluten. You had.
She said the workouts are helping, but she slipped up with the gluten there. Don't worry about it, sister. I mean, it's just one day or one meal or whatever it is. Focus on the positives that you've seen and just jump back on the wagon. No pressure.
Those workouts are so doable. You definitely feel it the next day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Someone said on YouTube, I noticed doing slow weighted workouts made me sweat so much more than walking 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, like if you're just doing walking or running and you're not seeing results, honestly, sisters, that it's because you're not doing the most effective way. Like the most effective way, in my opinion, is doing like slow weight training, basically using weights. It's really going to help you burn off the fat, gain some lean muscle, help your metabolism to be a little bit faster. Because let's not forget, PCOS is a metabolic disorder, right? So we need to get down to the science and basically help reverse it, help fix it. You're not going to just do that by running all day because your metabolism is not going to improve. Whereas if you're doing slow weighted workouts and you're improving your lean muscle mass, you're going to directly impact your metabolism, which is the core of the problem.
Exactly. That's our method for PCOS weight loss. Now, we are, we're all about PCOS weight loss and methods to help you lose weight, but it's really about reversing the metabolic issue that's happening, that dysfunction that's going on. And that's through our method of slow weighted workouts. That's through our method of reducing insulin levels and getting that under control, gluten and dairy free.
Yeah.
It's all about healing your metabolism and reversing that dysfunction that's happening to help you lose weight. Because at the end of the day, it's going to affect your hormones. You're going to help reduce the imbalance, and other symptoms are going to get better too.
Yes. All right. With all that being said, I think we got to close up shop right now. But we're gonna be on stories. We'll be posting posts every single day. So just the FY to the Schwai, if you want to join the sisterhood, or perhaps you want to join our 4-week workout course, meal plan course, just go to PCOSweightloss.org. Again, that's PCOSweightloss.org, and you can join our membership program. You can join one of our courses, and if you want, one of the course, or if you want to join the 4-week challenge. Was it step challenge?
Yes.
4-week step challenge. Go to the highlight.
Yeah, go to the highlight called 4-week challenge and swipe up, where you can put in all your information, join the Facebook group, and post your 5,000 steps in the Facebook group to win. After 4 weeks, we'll choose a winner. 3 winners for Ovastatol.
Yes, and the winner for today's live is Vanessa Vijayata, you are today's giver. Oh my God, let me screenshot that before right there. Yes. Okay. Vanessa Vijayata, you are today's giveaway winner. You're going to get 1 month free in the sisterhood. Just DM us for info and we'll give you the link to sign up. And yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty, TikTok. If you want to see this whole live from beginning to end, just go to Instagram and you can watch the whole thing. Bye-bye. Right?